was Paul Halmos who said, "The only way to learn mathematics is to do mathematics." Hello boys and girls, I am Miss Aaliyah Brewster and it's time for us to do grade 5 mathematics. Today I'll be guiding you through a lesson that deals with line segment. Grab a pencil and a notebook, get settled, it's time for us to start. Are you ready? Because I'm ready, let's begin. I'd like to start off each lesson with a warm-up exercise. And for today's warm-up activity, we'll be reciting the 10 times table. Let's begin. 10 times 1 is 10. 10 times 2 is 20. 10 times 3 is 30. 10 times 4 is 40. 10 times 5 is 50. 10 times 6 is 60. 10 times 7 is 70, 10 times 8 is 80, 10 times 9 is 90, 10 times 10 is 100, 10 times 11 is 110, 10 times 12 is 120. Let's move on to another warm-up activity. For this warm-up exercise, we'll be looking at a number circle. For those of you who are not familiar with the number circle, it's very simple to understand. The number that is at the center of the circle, we'll use that number and multiply it by the numbers that are in the yellow circle. So if we multiply 5 by 1, the sum of that, we'll write it just above the numeral 1. So 5 times 1 would be 5. We write that sum there. You have to think, boys and girls, what is the product of 5 and 2, 5 and 3, 5 and 4, 5 and 5, 5 and 6, 5 and 7, 5 and 8, 5 and 9, and 5 and 10. Those products we'll write on the outer circle. For the other number circle, our main number is 10. Therefore, we'll be multiplying 10 by the numbers in the yellow circle. And the answer, we'll write those answers on the outer circle. Did you get it correct? Let's check. When we multiply 5 and 1, we get 5. And the product for 5 and 2 is 10. So we write 10 just above 2. While the product for 5 and 3 is 15. And the product for 5 and 4 is 20. While the product for 5 and 5 is 25. And the product of 5 and 6 is 30. And if we multiply 5 by 7, we get 35. And if we multiply 5 by 8, we get 40. And if we multiply 5 by 9, we get 45. And when we multiply 5 by 10, we get 50. For the other number circle, when we multiply 10 by 1, we get 10. When we multiply 10 by 2, we get 20. While the product for 10 and 3 is 30. And the product for 10 and 4 is 40. And the product for 10 and 5 is 50. And the products for 10 and 6 is 60. While the products for 10 and 7 is 70. And when we multiply 10 and 8, we get 80. And when we multiply 10 by 9, we get 90. And if we multiply 10 by 10, we'll get 100. I hope you enjoyed today's warm-up exercise. Now let's move on to discussing lines and line segments. What is a line? A line can be described as a straight set of points that extend in the opposite direction. It has no ends in both directions, therefore it's infinite, meaning it can go on and on and on. It has no thickness and it is one-dimensional, meaning it's flat. A line segment, on the other hand, is a part of a line. It has a beginning and an end. It does not go on and on like a line. So it has a part where it begins and a part where it stops. That's called a line segment. Let's discuss the different types of line now. The first line we'll be discussing is the horizontal line. A horizontal line runs like this. It runs from left to right. Therefore, it looks like this. Straight across it goes. Straight across. So any line that goes, it runs from left to right and it goes straight across, we call that a horizontal line. Let's move on to vertical line. What is a vertical line? Well, a vertical line is a line that goes straight up. It runs up and down, or from top to bottom, without going across at all. So any line that runs from up to down or down to up and it does not go across, that line is called a vertical line. Let's discuss parallel lines. Parallel lines can be defined as two lines that run in the same plane and that are at equal distance from each other and they never meet. Therefore, parallel lines, they run in the same direction. They have an equal distance, meaning the space between them, it's equal, and they never touch or they never meet. So they're always separated by that equal distance and they run in the same line. Therefore, we can have vertical parallel lines, we can have diagonal parallel lines, and we can have horizontal parallel lines. Unlike parallel lines that do not meet, perpendicular lines are lines that intersect or meet each other at a right angle. So, perpendicular lines, they intersect each other like this. So if one line is running vertically, the other line will run horizontally, and in between them, you would notice it forms a right angle. Diagonal lines is a kind of straight line. However, it does not go straight up. It does not go down or across. It is a line that connects two corners of a shape. For example, in a rectangle, a diagonal line would connect point C and point B. it goes like this. So point C would be here and point B would be here. And this line can be described as diagonal because it connects those 2 points. In the other shape, you have a diagonal line being formed when we connect point E and point B. While in a trapezium, a diagonal line would connect point C and point B. That has brought us to the end of our lesson. We learned all we needed to about lines. You learned about horizontal lines, vertical lines, perpendicular lines, parallel lines, and diagonal lines. Thank you for joining me. And remember, the only way to learn mathematics is to do mathematics. Therefore, even though our study time might be over, it is still your duty to practice if you would like to be successful at your upcoming exams. Thank you for tuning in once again, and goodbye.